My name is Shauna K. Harrison. I am a digital curation student on the Libraries and Archives track. Okay, so we're in one of the vaults at the Public Service Department of Lansing. And here's like the sewer drawings. A lot of these are like 50 years old. And they're in the process of trying to get it digitized. So the Public Service Department approached us to help them get a handle on their workflow. So the engineering team and the permit team, for example, often work together, and they usually use each other's filing systems and like folders. And what's happening is that there's often duplications or confusion about how to find the resources that each of these teams need, and also update it accordingly without creating duplications and additional pathways that everyone has to navigate through. So for example, we're seeing a lot like permit and traffic not understanding the filing system of engineering, even though they constantly need to work with engineering and access their directories. Nothing is not getting done because of this issue. So if anything, it's actually harder to convince them to change it because everything is working fine. Everyone in this department has a different knowledge of what's in this room. They have a different knowledge of the systems, and it's not all combined. And what's happening is that people are retiring and that knowledge is being lost. So as a digital preservationist in training, that is of utmost concern to me, like what is being lost and what effect will that have? So for me, as someone who's interested in digital curation, naming, right, thinking about what goes into a name and what goes into a structure. There are a lot of these orders that we take for granted. You're like, well, the library just uses these numbers. You don't really care. Everything seems orderly. But then when you come into a space like the Public Service Department, you realize how important it is that where you place the file has significance that will continue to have significance in the long run, so it can continue to make sense. My team and I, there's 6 of us in total. We have interviewed 18 people combined, people across different teams. So we interviewed engineers, permits, traffic, and the administrators, and also the sustainability team.
So my name is Jawan Walters. I'm a second-year student here at the School of Information. As a library student, we're kind of maybe taught to kind of conduct reference and then asking kind of basic, obvious questions that might seem not sophisticated or not important enough. Like, how do you do this? Or why do you do this? Or can you tell me a little bit more about why you do this? Those types of questions get you really valuable data and get you insight about their line of thinking and their workflow. We were able to really use a number of tools and methods to kind of analyze the data. So in doing that, we created an affinity board. We took key insights from interviews and from observations. We were able to group those together based on apparent themes. And then from doing that, we're able to create actionable recommendations. One recommendation that we were able to put together based on the data we collected was creating a naming structure that was particular to each department. So we were deliberate in creating that because it would make it more retrievable. Another recommendation we did was have a file structure. So when team members in the Public Service Department goes into the folder to create a project folder or what have you, it's labeled in a hierarchical and kind of intuitive way. That it's projects and it's bridges or it's tunnels, and it's labeled underneath that correctly. So if you're spending 5 minutes to find one folder, sure, that sounds okay now, but if it takes you 5 minutes to find one folder, let's see, an hour, those minutes add up, taking away precious time you could be doing in the field to maybe fix that, that traffic light, or fix that sewer or something of the sort, something that would make a positive impact into their community. Librarians in particular have a unique skill set to really take in a lot of information and analyze it and visualize it. And in doing that, they have the unique ability to sway, public opinions or in people's minds on, numerous topics, to showcase to the public that the work we're doing at the city government is impactful, is benefiting the community members. And, as librarians and information professionals who have the unique capability to do that, I think we have to be mindful of that fact and try to serve that fact in our profession.